All right, Banshee Fever 750 coming at you. I want to share with you something. As you can see here, I bought this 2002 Banshee. It's got a Torch Delete kit on there. All right. Without getting too crazy about the Torch Delete kit, I want to share with you a couple things. When they removed the Torch, they left, plugs and wiring, These two clips were for the Torch system. They mounted in the carbs. Okay, so you got a black and yellow, two black and yellow wires, or actually yellow wire with black stripe, and then a black wire with a yellow stripe, a solid yellow with the black stripe, and then a solid black. Now those went directly to the carb tops. Okay, so what I did was I cut those off because I don't need those. All right, and I took some shrink tubing. I used the marine grade shrink tubing, the stuff with the goop inside. And what I did was I cut this right at the plug, and then I cut a small piece of that tubing, slid it on halfway, and I heat it up until the goop comes out of there. And then I heat up the other end, and just lightly with your fingers, you can either press it, smash it down, or you can just use two small pieces of wood. That way you have a really nice, clean, sealed unit. I was going to take the wiring harness off and just redo the whole thing, but honestly, this I can do that later. Right now, I just want to get this thing running and cleaned up a little bit. This isn't a show machine, This is just my kid's quad, and this will suffice. I mean, I can undo this whole wiring harness and, go through all that trouble. But right now, it's really unnecessary. I did a lot of that in my street bike powered ATV, and I need a break from that. So, anyways, rather than trying to relearn something, I just I found a hack. All right. Long story short, I found a hack. Now, these were the great connectors. I went to the carbs. Now, when you follow the wiring up, all of a sudden you got the white connector. Okay. A white connector that goes to the actual module, the box that controls the Torch system, the brain box. This was the plug that went into there. Okay? Now on that plug, I noticed there's three wires. There's a black and white one, black wire with the white stripe, a black wire with a yellow stripe, and then just a solid black wire. Now I'm going to get to the point here shortly. I've got a tether switch on this thing. So if my kid falls off and this thing, throttle gets stuck open or something happens, this is, a 400-pound missile traveling at, depending on what gear she's in. If it's going 50 miles an hour and this thing's just out of control with the stuck throttle, my kid bailed. I don't need this thing to fly across, the trails and smack into some kid that just learned how to ride his dirt bike or ATV and then ruin his experience and, I'd feel really bad, you know what I mean? Plus, if you got hurt and stuff like that, I mean, just, you got to have safety tethers on Banshees, especially when you remove the Torch system. I mean, it's just common sense. It's if you don't have a safety tether, then you should go get one. It's, it's not only for you, but it's for the other people. All right, so the hack on the tether system. So, looking at this Banshee, I normally work on street bike powered Banshees. So this was a little bit of a learning curve. All the forums I've read up on, they want you to take the kill switch wire, the black and white wire on this kill switch, this one right here, this black and white wire on a kill switch, right? So you've got the, your lights and your dimmers, on, off, high beam, low beam. And then down here, you've got your on and off for your Banshee, right? Well, apparently the black and white wire, when it receives a ground signal, basically, it tells the computer to shut the bike off, shut the ignition off. Now, you can hook up these tethers to ignition coils and a bunch of other places. I've heard bad things about causing damage to coils. I've heard things about this, and then you get people that have done it for years, and they've never had a problem with the coils. Okay, to each his own. All right, I'm going to show you my way. And this is a clean way that I found by accident. Upon cleaning up the wiring a bit, okay, I stumbled upon the black and white wire, and, I played around with a few things and got my meter out. And what I discovered was this black and white wire that I'm going to essentially clip and, you know, put away, solder, whatever, and shrink tube, and, you know, wrap it up in tape and make it look clean. Well, there's one wire, the black and the white one. That's the same wire that is tied into the kill switch. It's part of the Torch system. So I wanted to show you something. So what I did was I spliced the wire, right? And I just added a longer piece. And I'm going to fire this thing up, and I'm going to show you that it works, okay? Because the way these tethers work is one wire goes to the ground, and then the other wire goes to the, one wire grounds to the chassis, and then the other wire is going to go to this black wire with the white stripe, which is also tied into the on and off switch on a handlebar. So, all right, so we're going to try this out. All right, I'm going to fire this thing up. There should be enough fuel in there to fire it up. I'm hoping. All right, so everything's on. This on. All right, I'm going to fire up the Banshee, and I'm going to show you. You won't be able to hear me, but I'm going to show you when I connect this to the exhaust, it shuts off the Banshee. And then I'll pull it off before it cuts off, and I'll do it a couple times so you can see what I'm talking about, because that's what I'm going to tie into my tether. Alright, there you have it. Boy, does it smell good in here. Nothing like that two-stroke smell in your garage, huh? Alright, so there you have it. That wire that came off of your Torch system, I'm going to get you up close here. We're going to get real close here in a second. Alright? Okay. There you can see it. There's the module for a Torch box. Right here. I took the wire, it's black with the white stripe. That's the same wire that's here. That's all tied together. Okay? So rather than chopping and cutting and doing more work than I have to, I'm going to save you a shortcut. This is a hack, tether hack. Since most ATVs, I mean, if you are installing a racing tether, more than likely you don't have a Torch system, right? That's what I'm going to assume. I mean, it would just make sense. So rather than going through all that trouble and, you know, splicing this or making this look ugly or this and that, I mean, you can do it if you want. But what I'm going to do is, since that's already there, I'm just going to run my tether wire, okay? I'm going to take the one end, connect it to a ground, and then I'm going to put a little butt connector here and connect that there, and Bob's your uncle, so to speak. So then, you know, when somebody falls or they dismount their ATV in a hurry, it's going to shut off the Banshee and keep it from going ballistic and, you know, hurting someone else. All right? So that's what I wanted to show you, and I wanted to show you what I was using. This stuff is great. This is heat shrinkable polymeric products. All right, it's by TE Connectivity. I'm not associated with them, affiliated with them or nothing. But I just wanted to share this with you. This stuff is amazing. This stuff, you cut a little piece off, okay, and it's got the adhesive inside. This is the military grade stuff. So, and all the glue and stuff oozes out. So what I did was I just basically, I'll show you real quick. We'll do one for you real quick. We're going to do a pretend one. All right? All right. Let's do a quick one right here. We got a couple minutes on the camera. I was going to try to make this video short because all my videos are so long. I don't think most people even get to the end of them. But that's information lost, so it's your own peril, my friends. All right. So I cut a piece off. Okay. Now this is just an example, okay? All right. And usually when I do that, I kind of give it a little bend. All right. Now this is for a wire that, for instance, you don't want to take apart your wiring harness right now, or you may use this wire later, you know. But you know, you can either put it, instead of putting one of these on there, all right, instead of putting one of these little ends on there, which you can do too. But see how much space that takes? I don't like having bundles in my wiring. I want to keep everything nice and smooth and flat. So what I'll do is I'll seal it up with this guy here. So go like that. See this bend? I do that so that I don't push it. That way I know where to stop. Okay? So just slide it on. But the whole point of that gooseneck is so that when I cut this, you can see it's half the length of this. So it's kind of like a stop. Okay? You can bend this back however you want, but this is just bam. Okay? Now, you know what? There was a lighter on here. There it is. Okay, so you ready? A little smoke in my garage, huh? Smells good. Smells real good. The Amazon Interceptor. All right, so here we go. So you can see, you heat it up like so. All right. So we're covering two things. Okay. So now I'll stop right there and I'll make sure, because sometimes this might have the tendency to try to slide out. So you might have to push it back in. Like it'll actually, from shrinking, it'll actually try to squirt itself out. So you let it cool a little second. All right, so the goop comes out. All right, give it a second. I don't know if you can see it. Whoa, where's my camera go? Can you see the goop right there? Just barely see it. You see it right there, right? There you go. Okay, so now see the open end? All I gotta do is, once that cools off on that side, I heat up the open end. All right, now that might be a little bit hot, you know, warm or whatever, so you can just take a pair of pliers or whatever and just gently squeeze it. If you got fingers of steel, you can just go like that. Okay? Now, look at this really good. See it? So you got glue coming out of this end. This end's smashed with glue coming out of that end. Okay, once it cools, that's it. Look at that. What would you rather have? That? Or that? 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 Or that? That or that? You get the picture, right? Alright, Banshee. This is Banshee Fever 750. That garage is nice and smoky. Look at that. Huh? For all you two-stroke guys out there that love this stuff, I know why. It smells good. That way you can hide, you can mask the other aromas that are lingering around in your garage, huh? I got you. So there you go. So Banshee Fever 750, a quick hack on a safety tether, okay? The kill switch tether. Quick hack, you know what I mean? You can do it however you want. But for me, the wires are already there. Banshee Fever 750, over and out.